If anyone talked about a potential matchup between Jake Paul and Iron Mike Tyson, everyone would look at them like they were crazy. It turns out that this freak show of a fight will actually be happening soon. It sounds weird even saying it, but today we'll be taking a look at the preview of Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Jake Paul will fight Mike Tyson on July 20th of this year. The event will be streamed on Netflix. Everyone can tune in to watch the fight when it happens without paying an extra penny. Jake Paul has made a reputation fighting fighters who are well past their prime days, but by choosing to fight Mike Tyson, the YouTuber has outdone himself. Let's put it into perspective, shall we? Back when 31-year-old Mike Tyson fought Evander Holyfield, we're talking about the same fight in which Tyson bit a piece of his opponent's ear off. Jake Paul had barely come out of his mother's womb. On July 20th, 27-year-old Paul will be going toe-to-toe with 58-year-old Mike Tyson. If you're doubting whether the fight will even happen, then, well, know that Netflix has already announced it. The bout will take place in Arlington, Texas, at the iconic AT&T Stadium, which has space for 80,000 people.
How would you feel if you stepped into the ring with Iron Mike?
I would be in.
Could you come up?
Oh, I'm so fucking easy.
As we've said, Jake Paul has made a name for himself by slaying former fighters. His most recent victory was over Nate Diaz.
All three in favor of the winner, the problem child, Jake!
Paul has a 9-1 record in the sport. His only loss was against Tommy Fury in February of last year.
Daniel Vanderbilt scores it 76-73 to the winner by split decision, Tommy TNT.
But it seems like that wasn't enough to put Paul away from boxing. Some people might miss the fact that Paul actually fought on the same night as Tyson. We're of course talking about his fight with NBA player Nate Robinson on the undercard for Tyson's 2020 fight with Roy Jones Jr., a fight for which Tyson put the gloves back on after around 2 decades. It ended up in a split draw, but in the opinion of most people, Tyson should have won.
Ready, a minute gone again, just 2-minute rounds. Mike Tyson coming forward.
In one statement, Paul said, "We're about to produce the biggest fight in history. A fight in the biggest NFL stadium in the US. Broadcast live on the biggest streaming platform in the world. A testament to all we've accomplished in such a short amount of time." And well, he's right. On the other hand, in his statement, Tyson said, "It's a full circle moment that'll be beyond thrilling to watch. As I started Paul on his boxing journey on the undercard of my fight with Roy Jones, and now I plan to finish him." Jeez. In spite of his age, hearing Iron Mike Tyson say that he's going to finish you would send a chill down your spine.
It's on pace to be the biggest fight ever.
Yeah, and we're involved.
We're involved, right?
We're involved. All those big shots, all the biggest athletes in the world, this is the biggest ever.
November 28th.
Both Paul and Tyson have worked with Netflix in the past, the platform on which their upcoming bout will be streamed. Tyson was part of the Netflix documentary The Battle of the Baddest, which was about the matchup between Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou in 2023. Meanwhile, Paul had his own documentary, Untold, Jake Paul, the Problem Child. Sure, Mike Tyson is one of the greatest fighters ever on the planet, there's no denying that, but he's also pushing 60. His fight with Paul will not be a clean sweep first-round KO victory, as some people think. Even though Mike was the baddest man in the world at one point, those days are well past him. Paul, on the other hand, has just entered his prime. People might criticize JP for being a star on the Disney Channel and a YouTuber in the past, but he's been taking boxing seriously over the years, and he's also put down other legends who made their names through the art of fighting.
That fight would be gigantic.
Let's do it, Jakey.
Jake Paul, he's taking on the baddest motherfucker that ever lived.
If Jake Paul's on the other side of the ring, he's gonna have a recognition. He's gonna look over and go, "Oh my God, that's really Mike Tyson."
I have one punch power. He has one punch power. Who wins?
The fight is not only going to be a risky one for Tyson, but also for Paul. Losing for Tyson would be a stain on his legacy, while losing for Paul would pretty much decide his whole boxing career. If Mike wins, he'll become more of a legend than he already is in the fighting circle, finally putting down the problem child that had been taking out fighting's beloved. If Paul wins, then, well, he still would lose in the sense that beating an old Mike Tyson would probably garner him more hate than he's ever received in his controversial career, not only as a YouTuber, but also as a boxer. Mike Tyson's career record was 56-6, and he had a whopping 44 knockouts. He was also the youngest heavyweight champion in history, taking the belt from Trevor Berbick in 1986 at the age of just 20. There was a reason why everyone shivered upon hearing his name back in the day.
That was a right to the body and an uppercut to the head, and Berbick is down.
Tyson won 19 of his first professional fights and, of course, was on a winning streak. He held the championship for 3 years. However, Tyson went to jail after being convicted of rape in the mid-1990s. After coming back from prison, Iron Mike Tyson had a completely different and dark vibe to him. He quickly regained his title and became the 6th man in boxing history to do so. Unfortunately, toward the end of his career, it was clear that Tyson didn't have his heart in boxing anymore. The fighter, once nicknamed the baddest man on the planet, lost twice to Evander Holyfield in the late 1990s. In the eyes of fans, Tyson possessed the skill to win, that is, if he was in his prime. He retired after losing his title against Lennox Lewis via knockout in 2002.
You can't take that from him. Right hand from Lewis, and Tyson goes down for the 3rd time in his career. 6, 8, 9. It's over.
What we mean to say is that Tyson started fumbling towards the end of his career, which made him leave the sport that had made him a complete legend behind him. It was clear that he was past his prime even back then. Now, more than 2 decades later, at the age of nearly 60, Tyson will be putting on his gloves once again against Jake Paul. Tyson has spent his entire career in the heavyweight division, while Paul has always fought in the cruiserweight category. It seemed more than likely that Paul would gain some pounds and fight Tyson in the heavyweight division. In their last fights, Paul weighed just shy of 200 pounds, while Tyson was slightly over that weight in 2020 in his bout with Roy Jones Jr. Paul is 3 inches taller than Tyson, standing at 6 feet 1 inches, and also has a 5-inch reach advantage over him. The size difference shouldn't bother Tyson though, considering he fought against other guys way bigger than himself and Jake Paul for most of his career. The fight is probably going to be an exhibition. This explains why regulated sportsbooks haven't gotten around to posting odds for the fight yet, because bets are usually offered for actual sanctioned fights. However, because of the pure hype that this upcoming fight is going to generate, we do expect at least some betting to happen. Still, if you really want to see some kind of odds for the fight, then an offshore and illegal US betting site, Bovada, has listed Paul as a -500 favorite, with +325 for Tyson. These odds have been fluctuating with the passage of time, but it's clear that Tyson is the favorite if we go by the information from Bovada. Let's say the fight gets sanctioned. Some betting states in the US won't let regulated sportsbooks offer bets, and some might. But even if they all did, we're sure that the odds wouldn't be too different from their offshore counterparts. Keeping people who are taking part in betting aside, the general public is unsurprisingly on the side of Mike Tyson, and we don't blame them. Jake Paul has spent a lot of time crafting his villainous persona online, and people long to see him get knocked out cold. Will that happen? Only time can tell. This was a look at the preview of Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Who do you think will win? Let us know in the comments.